It's that time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
If you think I'm a pussy, I'm a punk, you tell me right now. Because listen, I am the baddest man. Fuck me.
So that'll give a bit of energy.
Yeah.
It's good night. It is all over in the 11th round.
What is up, team? Hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to Big Boys Boxing. I'm Jono, your host. I hope everybody is staying safe. I see the vaccines are rolling out in the UK. A big relief for many. Hopefully, this is going to get a lot of things back to normal for boxing. So on the weekend, we have the defense of Anthony Joshua's 3 heavyweight title belts, being the IBF, the WBA, and the WBO. His mandatory challenger, Kubrat Pulev, is the fight. Now, it's not a fight everybody wants to see. We know this, but Kubrat Pulev is the mandatory. He may even not necessarily deserve a shot, but the fact is, he is the mandatory. So I'm going to get into some predictions for the first 3 fights on that card. Well, the 3 heavyweight fights on that card. We'll start with the main event. I'm picking Anthony Joshua, and I think he's going to blow Kubrat Pulev out of there before the end of the 8th round. We know Kubrat Pulev has a great jab, but he is going to have a slight reach disadvantage. Anthony Joshua's jab isn't too bad himself. We've seen him use it to great effect against Andy Ruiz Jr. However, Andy Ruiz Jr. is a lot smaller than Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev is 6'5", whereas Andy Ruiz is like 6'1". So I could see Pulev trying to use his jab almost exclusively, but I don't think it's going to be as effective. Anthony Joshua is going to be expecting Kubrat to use that jab, and I think he's going to take a leaf out of Vladimir Klitschko's book. When he fought Pulev, he started trying to jab with Pulev, and Pulev was doing not too bad with the jab. So Vladimir reverted to the left hook instead, and he got Pulev out of there with it. There ain't a lot else Kubrat Pulev has. He has a bit of a right hand, and I see with his interview he did with Sky Sport in the UK, he seems to be obsessed with power. Powers. I've worked a lot on my power. But he's going to have to get to Joshua. Joshua knows that Pulev's going to be behind this jab. So I think Joshua has maybe not quite as good a jab as Pulev, but he's better everywhere else. Everywhere else. He's got a fairly decent inside game. He's got a very heavy right hand. He knows how to set up his right hand. He's got better feet than Pulev. So I can't see how Kubrat Pulev can win this fight. Adam Fahey in the chat, good to have you in, brother. So yeah, I think Joshua's going to get him out of there within 8 rounds. I think he's going to break him down a bit with left hooks, a bit of movement so he can avoid that jab. I'd like to see Joshua move his head a bit more. That's always the case with Joshua. But it may even be an uppercut. If Pulev starts to get desperate, he might start lunging in. Joshua might catch him with an uppercut. But it could be a left hook as well. I don't think it's going to be a one-punch KO or anything like that. It could possibly even be a referee stoppage. We've seen Joshua gets... Well, to me, it looked like a favourable stoppage against Vladimir Klitschko. Vlad was up against the ropes in the corner. Joshua was unloading, but Vlad was moving his head. He got caught by a couple of shots, but nothing too substantial, and the ref stopped the fight. Somewhat similar with Carlos Takam as well. Takam was taking a beating, but I thought the referee stopped the fight too quick in that fight as well. Takam was avoiding shots at the time. He was still throwing back every now and then, and the referee still stopped the fight. So it could be a referee stoppage, but definitely I think Anthony Joshua is going to get the win in this one. And hopefully we can move on to something bigger and better after that. Next on the list, I'll talk about Fury and Mariusz Wach. I think this is going to be a ball fest, pretty much the same as nearly every Fury fight. He's going to dance around, pop the jab out, hit Wach with a lot of pitter-patter punches, stay out of the way of any trouble, and box his way to a 12-round decision. Simple as that. Unless Fury's done something substantially different in training to improve his aggression level, that's how I see that fight going. And I don't think it's a bad fight for Fury, considering his position where he is now. He's taken a couple of losses at higher levels. He needs a fight like this to get himself back into the groove, get himself a bit of self-confidence, and maybe work on a few things. Mariusz Wach's very durable, so I seriously don't think Fury's got enough power to get Wach out of there. But you never know, this is heavyweight boxing. Something may have changed. There is a chance if Wach can land something on Huey, then possibly he could get an upset, but we'll see. Adam Fahey says AJ round 5-6 KO. Fury UD 9-3 10-2. Yep, something like that. I agree. Wach occasionally lately puts on a decent performance, but we saw it against Dillian White. I don't think Huey's going to be stationary enough or slow enough for Wach to be landing anything too substantial on him. So yeah, it's going to be a decision win for Huey. I agree. And the last one that Adam has mentioned here, Martin Buccoli versus Sergey Kuzmin. Now this one, I believe the weigh-in is tomorrow. I want to see what kind of shape Sergey Kuzmin is in, because I think that could play a little bit of a role in how this fight's going to go. I am picking Martin Bakole in this fight. I think it's going to go... At this point, I'm saying it's going to be a stoppage later on in the fight. But, like I say, if Sergey Kuzmin's in decent shape for a change, because he seems like a real lazy kind of guy, who never really is in proper shape, it could end up going rounds. Could go to the final bell. But I still think Buccoli is going to have too much volume, and his aggression is going to be the winner on the day. A lot of body shots is going to slow Kuzmin down. Kuzmin can be very one-dimensional at times. He is very dangerous early though. He's got a lot of power. Well, not one-punch KO power at elite level, of course, but he does have some good pop in those first 4 rounds. He's quite one-dimensional, throws a lot of 1-2s, left hooks, but doesn't have very good feet. He moves forward and backwards in straight lines. But if Buccoli's going to push him backwards somewhat, I don't know how he's going to go. I haven't seen Kuzmin on the back foot before. He's never really been pressured like that. So I think this is the most interesting fight of the card. And I'm probably going to do a live commentary stream just on that one. Certainly won't be doing any commentary on Fury versus Wach. And I just want to enjoy the fight with Joshua versus Pulev. So I won't be commentating on that one either. But certainly looking to commentate Bakole Kuzmin. I think that's the most competitive fight of the night. We also have the cruiserweight WBO World Championship fight on that card in Lawrence Coley and Krzysztof Glowacki. I really don't enjoy watching Lawrence Coley. I think he's gonna win the fight though, unfortunately. He has a substantial height and reach advantage. He uses his jab a lot, and if Glowacki gets inside on him, he's gonna tie him up. He doesn't want to fight inside with Glowacki. He has a bit of pop. He's a southpaw. He's quite difficult to deal with on the inside. So I imagine Coley is going to tie him up on the inside, and it's going to be a bit of a boring fight. But he's got to do what he's got to do to get a W. If he does get caught up on the inside, there is a possibility Glowacki could spark him. But I just don't see Coley being dumb enough to let that happen. Oh, Glowacki failed a COVID test a few weeks ago. Okay. Is that fight not happening now? I haven't looked at the card for a while. Let me have a quick look. Just bringing it up. Give me a sec here. The event. They've still got a Coley and no, they've got a Coley versus what's his name? Nakatani Jzelski. He's 19-0. Okay, I can't say I know who this guy is, so I can't really comment too much on it. I'll just have a quick look at him. Cruiserweight, orthodox, 6'3". Okay, he's quite a tall cruiserweight. Another Polish guy. Okay, well, could be interesting, as well as interesting as Lawrence Coley's fights do get. The guy is he's 29 years old. Has he got a reach registered? No, no registered reach. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's that. But I'm still gonna say that Lawrence Coley's gonna win that. Jab and grab, ball fest. This guy has one draw. Let me find who his draw is against. Where is it? Here it is. He had a majority draw over 6 rounds against Andrzej Witkowski, who at the time was 9-9, and that was quite a long time ago, so I'm assuming this guy has improved since then. That was back in 2008, so 12 years ago. So that's of no significance really. Alright, so that is pretty much my predictions for now. I'm about to drop a link in the chat for anybody who might like to jump on and come and have a yarn. give their opinions about anything to do with any of the fights I've discussed or anything else to do with boxing. So there is a link in the chat. I'll pin that to the top so it never disappears, and I will go jump into the live panel on Discord. I'm in there, as you can probably see on screen. So yeah, that's my predictions for the weekend. You did, Kiwi. Vince Bryant. Bye, band in the house. Nice to have you in, man. Looking at who you did. Who are you talking about? I better look back at the chat. Adam was talking about. Missed something. Coley Jzelski for WBO International. Winner faces Glowacki. Okay, yep. Jzelski got KO'd by that dude. Oh, okay, but it was a no contest due to both failing drug test. Okay, wow, he's a he's a PED user, so hopefully he's passed all his drug tests for this fight and it doesn't get called off. It'd be a shame if Coley loses his opportunity twice, but I'm sure the dude won't be doing anything quite so stupid again. Once you get caught once, you're known as a PED user. So we'll see what happens with that. Come Sunday morning New Zealand time. I haven't actually looked at the schedule to see if there's any other fights. I know Michael Hunter was supposed to be fighting Chauncey Woolever, but he's got another opponent. I can't remember if that is this weekend or not. Let me have a look. Michael Hunter. There. Amateur boxing, pro boxing. Jesus, a lot of Michael Hunters, man. Michael the Bounty Hunter. That's don't know if that's the father or not. Look at the record. 40. Yeah, that's the father. Oh no, that's Michael Hunter. 18-1-1. That's not the right one, I don't think. Must be. Sure, he's got a better than that. Michael the Bounty Hunter. Let's have a look. I think that's Michael Hunter Senior. Michael Hunter Junior. Michael Hunter Jr. Man, I can't find it. Google might work better. Bakole and H Jr. Okay, it is a Michael Hunter. Okay, it's not scheduled, so it's not this weekend. It's not on BoxRec. He does have a replacement. I can't remember the guy's name. Off the top of my head, he was a better opponent than Chauncey Woolever. These top guys should not be fighting Chauncey Woolever. I did see Mr. Boxing today. Was the one who mentioned the replacement fighter on his news feed, so maybe I'll just go in and have a look at the heavyweight schedule, see who else is fighting this weekend, if there is anyone else fighting this weekend. Not super heavy because amateurs. BoxRec has changed a bit. It's a bit of a rigmarole. It's another bad at all the amateur records as well, so you got to go through a bit more to find exactly what you're after. Just scrolling through looking for names that I know on the schedule at the moment. We have Unrivaled Boxing Talk in the house. How are you today, bro?
All's well, all's well. How are you, Jono?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Had a bit of a bad day yesterday, but I'll get to that story. It's actually quite interesting. I spent a bit of time at the police station yesterday. But
I want to hear about that. I want to hear about it.
You want to hear about it? All right, man.
Well, if you expect. Go ahead.
All right, man. Yesterday morning, I was up at my local bakery. I go there quite a lot. I had my young autistic boy with me, and all the staff in the bakery know him and they know what he's like and whatnot. But he was swinging on one of the counter rails, and this guy walks in behind me and says, "What's wrong with that kid?" I said, "Oh, he's got special needs, mate." He says, "Oh, you should take him somewhere special. We shouldn't have to look at that sort of shit." I said, "Excuse me?" And a lady behind him says, "Don't be such an ignorant shit." And my little boy doesn't say much, but he's copying a lot of things at the moment. And he turns around to this guy and says, "Yeah, fucking shit." And this guy slapped him. And I didn't take too kindly to that.
Yeah, so you beat the shit out of him?
I didn't beat the shit out of him. I only punched him once. But it was a good hook. Left hook, side of the head, and he went down to the ground. And the staff came running out and pulled me away and pushed my boy out of the way, and before you know it, the cops were there. 2 cars, we were both in the cop cars. I had to take my boy with me to the police station. And this guy was going off his tits saying, "I want to press assault charges against this guy," and blah blah blah. About 10 minutes after we got to the station, another cop came back with witness statements, and this guy kept on going. I could hear him in his other cell. "Oh, and that guy put in jail, blah 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 blah." And I said, well, the cop was talking to me after he'd read the statement and said, "Yeah, okay, I can see what happened here. This guy's the problem. You probably shouldn't have hit him, but he shouldn't have hit your kid." I said, "Well, you tell him if he wants to press assault charges, I'm going to press charges for child abuse." Turns out the guy was on parole anyway, so he didn't want to press charges after I threatened him with child abuse charges.
Assault and battery on a minor, that's...
Yeah, well,
That's
my boy's only 5 years old, and yeah, I can't believe there's people out there like that. You know, they're just so ignorant. And yeah, there was no charges laid, and I got let out of the police station. Got my boy to school late, and that guy went back to prison for parole violation anyway, even though I didn't press any charges on him. But I'm a little bit worried because I think he's a gang member, so there could be some trouble coming. Fortunately, he doesn't know where I live, but yeah, it was a bit of a stressful day yesterday, man.
Yeah, I can imagine. But you know what? Anybody who's listening to this, take notes. This man's a real father. Do you know why? Not because he defended his son, because at the end of the day, he was a little bit upset because he got his son to school late.
Yes.
That's a dad.
Yeah.
That's a dad.
That is a dad.
Yeah, good dad, John.
But
you did what any of us do. You did. Like, to be honest, mate, I probably would have killed the man. To be honest.
If he had punched my boy, it would have been a bit different. He didn't hit my boy hard. He just gave him a little slap, but that's not the point.
You're not supposed to touch another person's kids.
No, you don't touch someone else's kids, and I couldn't believe the ignorance of the man. Yeah, my kid's got special needs, but telling me I should take him somewhere special where people don't have to look at him, I was like, you
Get the
piece
fuck
of
out
shit.
of here.
You piece of shit.
Anyway,
your thoughts about these fights over the weekend? Do you know who this replacement cruiserweight guy is? Have you seen him?
Jzelski.
Yeah.
Jzelski. Yeah, I've seen him fight once. Let's just say Lawrence will deal with him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He'll tie him up. Lawrence is hard for anybody just because of his style. You know, his style's very awkward, very monotonous, boring crap. But the dude that he's fighting, let's just say he is. Can I use heavyweight for comparison, just in terms of level?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's say Lawrence and Coley, he's a top 10 cruiserweight, right? So let's say he's Michael Hunter Parker or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting Eric Molina right now.
Okay. I wonder if it's probably still gonna be the co-main, I suppose, since it's for that WBO international title. We've got no other title fights on there that I know of.
I won $20 on that now because it's the international title. Because somebody said to me that Eddie's saying that they're looking for an opponent. It's definitely gonna be a world title fight because Eddie was pushing that, to make the fight more interesting to people as he does, And I'm like, all right, fine. I don't believe that. And he's like, I bet you $20 it will be. Now it's an international belt. It's not $20.
Yeah.
I got $20.
Shit hot, man. Shit hot. So yeah, you're pretty much same as me. Lawrence will deal with him. Moving on. So, the most exciting fight for me on the card is this Bakole Kuzmin fight. I'll give my prediction. I think it's probably going to be a stoppage later on in the fight to Buccoli, but I think a lot of that's going to depend on what sort of shape Kuzmin shows up at the weigh-in tomorrow. What are your thoughts on it?
I agree with you. My other thing is, the only time one thing you and I can both admit is Sergey Kovalev has heart.
Yes.
And he will not stop trying till the final end. He won't stop. We've seen Martin give in. We've seen him give in against the guy firing back at him. Everyone else hasn't been firing back on him except for one man. So my whole question is, if he has a guy who's strong, which Kuzmin is, and hits hard, which Kuzmin does, with volume, just like Buccoli, will Martin's heart fail him before Kuzmin's body fails him? That's my whole question on the fight. That's why it's so exciting.
Yeah. When you say give in, did you think that injury that he had against Hunter, being Buccoli, wasn't really legit? It was more of a way out.
You know the way he dislocated his shoulder?
No,
you know the way that's what they said, he dislocated his shoulder. I'm just saying, both of his shoulders were still in line, mate. That wasn't out of the socket. that wasn't out of the socket. I regularly dislocate my shoulder, regularly, because I've got like hyperextension of my shoulder, right? So it just fucking a lot, and it's horrible. It is a horrible thing. That wasn't out of place at all.
Yeah.
Wasn't out of place at all.
I don't know if it's the same sort of thing you got. I got almost double jointed shoulders as well. I can pop my shoulder out and in pretty much at will. It won't stay out. But
Yeah.
you know, is it possible that he did dislocate his shoulder, but it was only partial and it popped straight back in? I'm not saying that
But
was the case.
if it was a partial thing, if it's partial, yeah, the pain will be a bit there, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can fight through that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a wank through that before.
Yeah.
To put it bluntly, that's legit. I've actually done that. I've had a wank through a semi-dislocated shoulder. So you can have a fight. Because trust me, there's a lot more tension in other parts. But
Push through the pain.
but in all honesty, man, that's my only thing. He's got power, he's got volume, he's got a nice jab, he's aggressive, he seems to have a chin. Does he have a heart?
Yeah.
That's my whole thing on Martin.
Yeah, you definitely could be right, man. I don't
If
think too
his
much
heart
about
don't
that.
fail him, he wins the fight. But will it fail him?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Kuzmin can pop too, so I mean it's not that hard to land on Buccoli when he's trying to throw those hooks to the body and whatnot. So it could be very interesting. I think it's the most interesting fight on the card anyway. But yeah, we'll see. What about the Fury versus Wach card? You're probably along the same lines as me. I'm picking a decision win for Fury. Are you thinking the same thing? Oh, he's out. He's in. He's out. So they're busy, or be back in a minute. There he is. You're back.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if his heart will fail him or not. That's all.
Yeah.
I think he should win the fight. I think he should probably stop him late on. I think eventually Kuzmin's body will give in to that relentless talent. Probably rounds 8 through 11. Is it 12 rounds or 10?
Oh, I didn't actually look at that. I think it's 12. Better have a quick look.
Because that's important to look at
It
here.
is,
Because
yeah.
if this is 10 rounds, this might be a points fight.
Yeah.
Asking the important questions here, guys.
Indeed. Sergey Kovalev, I'm looking up. And I must have spelled it wrong. Great.
I'll find out for you, Jono. I got this. I'll find out for you.
Anthony Joshua and bring up their meat. Yeah.
Boxrec. Right, let's see. Schedule for 10 according to Boxrec.
Okay. Yeah, well, that definitely could change it. Could definitely go to points. It also means both guys can step on the gas a little more, having those 6 minutes less to fight. So, could make it more interesting. But yeah. So, either late stoppage or points to Buccoli, depending on his heart. Yeah, good point about the heart. So, we'll see. Wach versus Fury. You thinking points decision for Fury?
That's the best bet, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty likely, really.
Like, Huey's got a chin. Vach's getting older. Can Huey stop him late on? It's only a 10 rounder. If it was 12, maybe Vach's energy levels could go and a TKO could come in. I see Huey just boxing comfortably, man. Vach will have a couple of moments here or there because he's a big enough puncher and he does throw enough shots, you know. But
Yeah.
for the most part, it's just going to be Vach chasing him around in a circle.
Yep, definitely. I'm just looking through the rest of the card. There's a couple of other fights on there. Is there any others you'd like to talk about that you're interested in?
Not really, man. The card's gash.
Yeah, pretty gash. That's what I thought.
Here, let me ask you this, because this is what I'm thinking, right? I think they're printing money on AJ versus Pulev, because I think AJ's knocking him out, right?
Yeah.
And I just want your thoughts. Does Pulev go past 6?
Well, my prediction is I think Joshua will get him out of there before the end of the 8th. I don't know, because Pulev...
He's awkward.
Yeah, he is a bit... People don't give him enough credit for what he is. I mean, yeah, he's planned his career out very carefully and fought opponents that he knows he can beat besides Vlad. But he's got a lot of experience. He hits harder than most people think. So, there's a possibility he could even catch Joshua or something. And we've seen Joshua, when he gets caught, he's in trouble if he gets caught bad.
The only problem is, if you don't one-shot him, Joshua does fight back, right?
Yeah.
And whose power and chin will hold up more, his or Pulev's? I reckon Joshua's. If they go into a slugfest, I reckon Joshua does them.
I think so too, yeah, definitely. He's got that fighter in him, whereas Pulev seems to be more of a boxer. Tends to keep his... if it does...
But if you hurt Pulev, he'll fight too. He will fight. Ask Bogdan Dino. Ask Vlad. He tried to fight it out with him.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be a more entertaining fight than they were all thinking, but I think maybe Pulev might go past 6. But I don't think it's going to go to points. I don't think he's going to have the stamina at his age to be able to keep up with Joshua, and it's going to be an accumulation and stoppage, I think. But I wouldn't be surprised if Joshua does land something big earlier on and gets him out of there within 6. Vlad got him out of there in 5, and Joshua's going to be ready for that jab. We all know Pulev's going to be trying to stick behind that jab. I think Joshua will be ready for it. Like I said earlier, I think he's going to take a leaf out of Vlad's book and revert a lot more to the left hook. Maybe even lead with some right hands and then follow it with the left hook. So it'll be interesting, and I think also a lot's going to come down to what type of plan Joshua's going to use. Is he going to try and fight on the outside and use some reach advantage until Pulev slows down, or is he going to try and get an impressive win, which he hasn't had in quite a while? So, yeah. How do you think it's going to go? What type of fight do you think Joshua's going to fight?
I think Joshua's going to be cagey for the first round. A little bit. I think they're both going to try and establish a jab. But towards the end of the round, Joshua's going to let that straight right go and probably catch him on the top of the head and hurt Pulev a bit. In the next round, you'll see Pulev be more on the back foot, trying to keep away as much as possible. Joshua will just come towards him, use the jab from range, a bit like Brazil, just 1-2-ing, using his reach advantage. I actually think he's got a better jab than Pulev. I don't think he gets enough credit on his jab, and I think Pulev gets a bit too much credit on his, because I think it's the best thing Pulev can do, and people automatically just go, well, this is by far his best trait, because the rest of his traits are whatever, because they can't see the things he does well. Pulev's best trait is actually his timing, not his jab.
Yep.
You know what I mean? His timing's way better than his jab is, and that's why his jab looks so good, is because he times it well. But AJ, I think, has just a better jab overall. I think he'll walk him down. I think by about round 3, Pulev will touch the canvas. And then I think anywhere from 4 through 5, AJ is going to get him out of there. He's going to look to take his head off.
Well, man, if Pulev touches that canvas before the end of round 3, I definitely think it's going to be all over within 5.
Yeah.
If Joshua can get to him and hurt him early, then Pulev's screwed.
I don't think Pulev's punch resistance will be able to stand up to Joshua landing power shots, and I think he's going to land quite a few. If you look at the Ruiz situation, it's because of Andy's chin and the speed of his hands that he was able to get through that first fight, Yep. Pulev doesn't have that.
Yep. And I really think AJ is going to try and get a decent KO. He hasn't had one in a while. I mean, the last time he technically, not a technical knockout, but on paper knock someone out who didn't beat the count was Charles Martin. But, you know, the last time he actually sparked somebody right out was Dillian White, and that's a long time ago. So
Yeah,
I think
it's been a long time.
I think he needs something like that to beef up
His
his
last
profile.
good knockout was Povetkin, right? Povetkin was his last good knockout.
Yeah, and that was still a TKO, wasn't it? Still the ref stopped it.
It
up.
was a TKO, but like Povetkin,
He was done. Yeah.
Povetkin wasn't gonna win that, man.
Yeah, he
Povetkin
was
was dunzos.
Yeah.
Like, remember when he was falling back, Steve Gray actually caught him before his head snapped onto the canvas?
Yeah. Wasn't supposed to do that, but
Great refereeing, though.
yeah.
Great refereeing, because he had stopped the fight already, you know? He'd ended the fight, and Povetkin was falling over, and he was falling back, and before his head hit the canvas, Gray caught him. That was brilliant. That was brilliant safety control of a fighter. Love
Indeed.
to see stuff like that.
Yeah. The compassion from referees is good. As long as they're not stopping fights too early at the same time.
That wasn't stopped too early.
No, not that one. Not that one. No. Not that one.
That
Definitely.
man was 4 or 5 punches away from being put out of the arena.
Yeah. Alright. So, off the top of your head, can you think of any other heavyweight dust-ups that are on the weekend? I was starting to look through the schedule. I should have done that before I started the stream, but
This weekend.
yeah.
Um,
Any other fights that you're looking forward to on the weekend? They don't have to be heavyweight.
I'm looking forward to Verdejo versus Nakatani.
Okay. Yep. Those are little fellas, eh?
Nakatani's he's the one who fought Teofimo. There's real good odds on Nakatani too, because he's what is he, 6-1? Plus 600?
Wow.
Plus 500? Yeah, I was like really shocked at that. I'm like, a dude who a lot of people thought was either close to Teo or beat Teo is being rated. He has the same chance of winning by any means against
That's crazy.
Verdejo that Callum Smith has of knocking out Canelo? That doesn't make sense.
That's crazy. That's worth a flutter. That's crazy. Unless there's something the bookies know that we don't, far out. That's crazy.
Yeah, unless it's like robbery on the cards.
Okay. Yeah. Is that
Because
fight,
Verdejo is the house boy.
is that in the States? That fight?
Yeah, it's in the States. Top rank.
Okay. I've just spotted another heavyweight fight. It's actually on tomorrow. Cash Ali's getting in the ring again after a bit of a hiatus. He's fighting a guy called Phil Williams. Don't know who the hell he is, and I shouldn't because he has a record of 3 wins, 26 losses, and 1 draw.
I know who Phil is.
Do you?
Join him.
Very
I
much
know
so.
he's joining.
Yeah, so Cash should win that fight. I guess he's finished because he was suspended by the British Border Boxing Control for a while after biting David Price, wasn't he? So,
Well, he did have a fight in February, didn't he, against Kamil Sokolovsky?
oh, did he? Okay,
I think so, yeah.
have a look.
But yeah, I know Phil Williams. Who was it that I seen Phil? I know that he fought against David Adelaide, right? Recently enough. He's had a few fights this year. There was someone specifically though that I was actually watching a card with them on. Who was it?
I'll tell you.
It wasn't Valili. It wasn't Valili.
David Adelaide was his last fight.
Oh,
Donny...
that's it. He was fighting Paddy Nevin. I was keeping an eye on Paddy.
Okay,
That's
that
what it was.
3 fights ago. Yep. Okay. Jesus, when did he last have a win? Oh, lost. There's a win.
Maybe. Yeah, it's a while ago.
Far out, back in 2019. Okay, it wasn't that long ago, but he's had a fair few
In
fights.
terms of fights, it was a while ago.
Exactly, yeah. Far out, this guy's busy. Must be trying
10
to
fights ago.
make some money before he gets brain damage. Far out.
Mate, this dude lost to Zaslik. You know Ferenc Zaslik?
Yeah.
Zaslik, the Hungarian journeyman?
Yeah.
He lost to him, bro.
It's
No, he beat him. Sorry, he actually beat him. My bad. He beat him. And he had a draw with him. That's crazy.
twice. Okay.
I got knocked out by Fabio Wardley as well. That's where I remember him from.
Yeah.
Wardley was on the...
It should be a tune-up for Cash Ali, but it is
That was
what
on the
it is.
White Chisarda 2 card.
Yeah. Wow, there
That's where
is a heavyweight card in Mississippi. Wow, they're all heavyweights on it. Oh no, well there's 3 heavyweight fights on the schedule anyway. But nobody really worth mentioning. Chris Sorrow. Oh, Chris Sorrow, don't know who he is. They're all prospects, so that one's not.
I know you love your heavyweights, but sometimes you just have to give it a bit of a wide berth when you don't know anybody.
Yeah, man. Gotta stay away. Not mention them. It doesn't look like there's anybody else of note in the heavyweights fighting this weekend that I've come across so far. I'm just about out of the weekend by the looks of it.
And I just got bad news earlier today that one of the fights next weekend that I was most looking forward to is off.
Oh, what's that?
Nonito Donaire versus Rodriguez for the vacant bantamweight title is off.
Was it off? COVID, I suppose. Somebody got it.
Yeah, and
Bummer.
Donaire got it. And it hurts me because I want to see him create history, be the first 3-time bantamweight champion in boxing history.
Well, hopefully with this vaccine rolling out globally, we're going to see the end of this fights getting cancelled because of COVID. So hopefully
We'll see.
Next year maybe we'll get a bit more normality back. Cassius Clay is fighting. What date is that? That's this weekend. Oh, sorry, Cassius Cheney, not Cassius Clay. Cassius Cheney is fighting this weekend. He's fighting Jason Bergmann, well-known Southpaw journeyman. Have we got a televised? It's got no register. Still good. I've just found Cassius Cheney is fighting Jason Bergmann this weekend.
That's actually good.
Not a
like
bad
that.
little dust-up because I don't think Cassius Cheney is that great.
Levels above.
Yeah.
He's not levels above. He's a bit above them both.
Yeah.
And he should win, but Bergman will be.
Bergman will give it his best. He's another fighter he doesn't stop trying. So, I mean, his record ain't too impressive these days. He's at 27-18 with 2 draws now, but he's going to give it a go.
He's a 47 weight veteran.
He's a what, sorry?
47 professional fight veteran at this stage.
Yeah. Cassius Cheney's
He's
still...
coming up to 50 fights.
Yeah. Cassius Cheney's still unbeaten. I thought he'd taken a loss. I must be thinking of someone else. But he hasn't
Was
stepped
it
up.
Manny Rock, maybe?
It might have been. But that's a fight I wouldn't mind seeing. Damani Rock and Cassius Cheney. But
Good little dust up that.
yeah, I think they're still building. I mean, past... I don't know what Damani Rock's record is up to now. He must be up around the same as Cassius Cheney at 19-0. So must be time for these guys to start matching up against each other.
And Jermaine Franklin too.
Jermaine Franklin, yeah. And Trey Lippy Morrison. I mean, there's a few of those US prospects that are getting up there in numbers. They need to start taking risks and proving themselves instead of fighting powder puffs. Right, and I'm just about, what have we got, 13th of December now. Oh, Mark Hunt! I forgot about that. Mark Hunt and Paul Gillin are fighting on Sunday, New Zealand time. Yeah.
Is that a big fight? Is that a big fight down where you were?
Well, I don't know. It's a pretty decent fight for Australia and New Zealand because both guys are well known. Paul Gillin used to be a rugby league star. Mark Hunt, as we all know, is a MMA star, but he's dipping his feet back into boxing. He had dipped it in earlier on before he got into UFC. But I've also got on that card.
Let me ask a question real quick. Is Mark Hunt that dude who fought Brock Lesnar when Lesnar was returning? The dude who everyone was saying that he may not be good on the ground or this or that, but if he punches you, he'll knock you out.
That's him. And Brock Lesnar.
Okay, I'll watch that.
And Brock Lesnar popped dirty. But and Brock Lesnar popped dirty after that fight.
Yes.
It was for roids, and they didn't call it a no contest. They just slapped him with a $150,000 fine or something, even though he made millions out of it. So Mark Hunt was pretty pissed off about that.
Yeah.
But also on that card, we've got Tim Hsu and another Kiwi boy. What's his name? Oh, he's our top super welterweight. Oh, let me click on
Morgan or something, right?
That's it. Bowen Morgan is going.
Absolute bomb. Absolute bomb.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about him, but last time I watched him, we had him against our other top super welterweight. His name's Shave Brook, and it wasn't too bad a fight, but neither of these guys are on the level of Tim Hsu. No way. So I think Bowen Morgan's going to get knocked out in about 4 rounds in that fight, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll be watching that card simply for the Mark Hunt and Paul Gillin fight. I think that's going to be a great dust-up. Mark Hunt, if he hits you, you're going to sleep no matter who you are. He's actually Joseph Parker's cousin, so...
I think Morgan, will go further than people think against Tim Hsu.
You reckon?
Because a lot of people think, oh, really, stop Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn couldn't have been shot more if I hadn't have lit him up with a doozy myself.
I agree, he was pretty shot. But just the eye test to me...
okay, I'll tell you what.
Yep.
A couple of fights before that. Watch Tim Hsu versus Brubaker, right? And tell me that Bowen ain't way better than Brubaker. Don't write it off of a shot Jeff Horn, because a shot fighter is worse than a fighter in his prime who's no good.
Okay. I haven't seen that fight, so...
Find your way to find the fight. I was watching it live. He ain't that good, John.
Okay.
I'm saying it now. I can see all the flaws. He ain't gonna beat a legit world champion. Let's just put it that way. He'll beat Morgan, right? He'll beat him, but that's gonna go more than 4 rounds. I reckon 8.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm just looking through Bowen Morgan's record, and the fight I saw that I mentioned with him and Shave Brook was back in 2018. Since then, Bowen Morgan has had he's had a stoppage in the 3rd round, a stoppage in the 3rd round, a stoppage in the 3rd round, a stoppage in the 2nd round was his last fight. I can't say I recognize any of the names. Nelson Tyner Penny, Jack Assis. No, man, I wouldn't recognize any of these names.
I recognize Jack Assis because he went the distance with Jiu.
Okay. Jack Assis, and he got stopped by Shave Brook by KO in 3 rounds out of 12.
Against Bowen, you mean?
Against Bowen, yeah. Bowen Morgan.
Bowen's not terrible, right? He's not great, but he's not terrible. He's had a lot of fed opponents, but he'll go past 4 rounds with L-Tim. L-Tim being...
He must have a bit of pop, really, if he's stopping guys. Because Assis is not a real bum, is he? Jack Assis? Oh, well.
Well,
36 and 21, maybe.
Yeah, I know that. He's a journeyman, but if you actually go through Jack Assis's record and you look at him fighting Bowen up at 144, and then you scroll down through his resume, you'll see that he fought a lot at 130.
Okay. He's a bit smaller. Oh, yeah.
And he was in there against someone who was coming in at 144.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, yeah, it's definitely a card I will be watching anyway. I'll watch that fight as well. Haven't even investigated how to watch it yet, but no doubt it's going to be on Australian pay-per-view. I did remember.
Foxtel.
Okay, Foxtel. So.
Always Foxtel for Tim Zhu.
Okay. That's who he's contracted to. But yeah.
Well, that's who copyrighted me 5 fucking times.
Okie dokie. What were you playing? Sound or picture or something?
No, neither. They just did it because of the title. They preemptively did it, knowing that they can keep me off air for 10 days.
Commentary. That sucks. I don't know how they get away with that. They take away your revenue. You could sue them for loss of revenue if you're not breaking any copyright rules, really. But is it worth your time? And
I don't break any copyright rules, Jim. You know that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, the Zone did it to me once without me even going live yet.
It's crap, eh? Even if you've got no footage in your title.
Mate, I haven't even gone live.
Yeah, sucks a fat one sometimes. Yeah. I guess it's the company's way of forcing people to watch their broadcast, so us little men just have to deal with it.
Pretty much.
Alright. Okay, man, well, I think that's pretty much us for today. Anything else you want to yarn about before we close this down, brother?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm all good. Thanks for having me on, mate.
Appreciate
for anyone who hasn't subscribed to Big Boys Boxing, if you're watching on the archive, hit the like button. If you're in the chat and still listening, hit the like button. Support the man, support the man's channel, support the man's content.
Indeed.
Appreciate you, Jono, as always. Take care.
Thanks, brother. Awesome. And for those of you who aren't, but I'm sure you are, make sure you get over to Unrivaled Boxing Talk and give him a subscribe. Check out his stuff. Very knowledgeable man. Very good at remembering all the names and the styles of fighters, and puts out a lot of content that will educate you. So go and check him out. And that will be us for today. Hope y'all have enjoyed. And like Mark said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you next time. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you. And that is a wrap for today. Hope y'all enjoyed today's session. If you have, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so not to miss future content. If you'd like to get more involved with the channel, off air, and with the subscribers, you can head to the main channel page, and up on the right of the channel banner there is this Discord invite link. Once you click on that, it will take you to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. Over here we have multiple platforms for chat. We have general chat, which is anything boxing. We have live fight links, where I drop links to fights within 24 hours of them screening. We have live fight replays. I drop the occasional replay here so you can come and watch them. We also have Fight Night Chat, which is for people who play Fightnight Champion. I play a bit of it. You can come and talk strategies, tips, whatever here. But the main thing here is this live panel voice channel. If you ever want to get involved on the live panel on YouTube, this is where it runs from. You come here, simply click on it, and you are in the live chat. And see the green rings come up when I speak. That means your mic is active. Down the bottom here, if you want to mute at any time, you can do so, like that. And if you want to get out at all, there's this hang up button right here. And that's all there is to it. So like I say, I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing. I will catch you next time. Peace.